Fleming says test. Michael says test.
All right. Hello, everybody. What's going on, everybody? Appreciate you so much for being here and joining me. Today is May 27th, 2025, and we're back teaching ourselves computer science and programming.
And assess ping.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome into the stream. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Hey, Endpoint. What's going on, dude? It's great to hear from you again. Cheers to you. How's it going, man? Man, I gotta get a haircut. This is ridiculous. I need to at least pull these back. Maybe look like less of a hooligan. At least pull those back. Let's pull them back. We'll slick them over the ear. We'll slick them over the ear here. And then we'll make it work. There we go. Alright. There we go. That's work. That's better. Now you guys can actually, now you can not look like a fluff ball. How you guys doing? Hey Philgo. Hopefully I pronounced that right. I appreciate you for joining me here. Welcome in, early crew. If you guys are here, consider leaving a like. Part of the early crew. Thanks so much for being here and hanging out with me. This is just my portfolio site, so you guys can check it out. I'm going to pin it up front. We wrote this on stream a couple weeks ago, if you're new here. Oh, shoot.
Welcome, check out my portfolio.
Troll and don't ignore that. Gosh. Okay, and then how do you know if I copy this? Can I go option enter?
Michael says, welcome,
No.
check out my portfolio site and enjoy the stream.
Oh well. Never mind. Sorry.
Philgo says, how's the learning journey going so far?
Hey Philgo. It's going good. We've been learning a lot. Been building our projects. We started learning calculus, but we've gotten a lot of heat, let's say, for learning calculus. I haven't gotten as much heat for learning a subject on the stream yet. Now, when I mean heat, it's nothing like crazy, but like I've never gotten as much like maybe negativity is regarding a subject as starting math and calculus on the course, on more specifically calculus on the channel. So it's really interesting to see people judge me online from behind a screen, and I try not to let it affect me too much, and it's just interesting to like yesterday, for example, when we were doing Calc 1, we had at least I think 10 new people come in, and then all of them say that we're kind of what we were doing was a waste of time. And it's oh geez, this is rough, but we're trying to just block out the naysay and just make sure we're doing what we're supposed to be doing here and grinding away. But we are back today.
Philgo says so half of the people is crazy these days.
I appreciate all 12 of you guys for being here. If you guys could leave a like on the stream, I would really appreciate it. It really just helps to keep me pushing, and seeing you guys enjoying the content on the stream just through the like is, much appreciated. Okay, you guys. So today we are gonna be working on our SpectroSim project. Now, yesterday.
Byron says don't mind bunch of 16 years old. They were just bored, I guess.
Yeah, I even had to finally.
People tend to shit on things that are hard for them. They just don't want to acknowledge it. Your resume is impressive, even if calc is not needed for everything.
You guys are so kind.
And useful.
You guys are so nice. Thank you guys so much for the positive words and support with me. I'm here for you all if you guys need anything, and we have the Discord down below where you can chat with everybody offline. We have some nice discussions on there about the future. People seem to be really interested about the future with AI and are really concerned about it. So we do some abstract thinking, some just some, and then we have some. It seems to have been the latest trends of discussion in the Discord lately. But the Discord's main purpose is it has all my resources in there for my learning journey so far. Every book I've read, PDF reference is downloadable in there. I got it shared for you guys. My notes, personal notes, links to my GitHub, all that kind of jazz. To those personal note repos, we have my weekly breakdowns of Harvard CS50X, CS50P. I didn't do a weekly follow along of that course because I did that was my first introduction to programming, and then I made the channel shortly after that. And but I do need to go back and put in there like some. I think I want to do like at least some like weekly an entry for each week, so like some tips and tricks, given it's Python, and I can definitely help out with that for people that are struggling in there.
Did you ban SQE chess?
Yeah, I did. He just, dude, I gave him a lot of chances. I gave him like 3 chances over the course of, I gave him like 5 chances, day after day after day, and he kept coming in here and he started asking some like outlandish questions about my girl, and I'm not gonna let that fly. And then he started really going off yesterday, and so it was over at that point. So I'm not sure if you can actually ban, but I think his comments are just hidden from the chat. So if he's here, then I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's just a kid though, which whatever. All right, you guys. So we are back in our project. So it's.
Konami Spy says SQE had it coming.
Yeah, for sure. So anyways, let's move on here. So let's go status here. So we are all up to date with our front end. So let's go cd into our front end directory here within our environment. And then let's go npm. So that's the package manager for React node package manager. And then we're going to go run dev.
Awesome 12,313 says dude, it's sick that we're learning.
Hey dude, thanks for coming in. I appreciate your first time chat. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm teaching myself how to program, code, calculus, math, all that kind of jazz. Degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. I'm 26. I work as a formulation chemist for a biotech company where I make controls.
I can't code for shitty.
I did CS for 4 years. Oh, dude, nice. I'm sure you're better. Give yourself some credit. You got it, man.
I am SQE.
Oh my god. Bruh. Am I gonna...
Konami Spy says no, I'm not. Konami Spy says joke.
Okay, good. Okay, whatever. All right, let's just move on. Yeah, so we're gonna go here. And so yesterday, guys, I was watching. Have you guys seen the show *Handmaid's Tale*? I was watching that show with my girlfriend. She's been watching it lately. She's been into it. I've actually been into it too. It's been sucking me in. But while we were watching that, I was spending the evening with her. I was working on this on the front end here. I was working on the front end. Just getting some kind of organization and layout, and kind of figuring out how to do the media queries with Tailwind and React. So, right, we have a home page here, we have an about page, and we have a simulators drop down menu here, right? So these are our simulators. So we need to, we have AbsorbSim and coming soon. So we click on AbsorbSim and here it is. Boom! Dun, 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 dun. Pretty cool, I think.
Spy says you should have a follower notification.
I know. I'm sorry. I wish I... Is there anybody that's more knowledgeable about Twitch stuff that could DM me? Is Mahan here? He knows more stuff about this. I used to be, trust me, when I was a kid, let me tell you, it is so true about when I was a kid, I could just soak up, I have to be deliberately focusing on like one task at hand to be learning here. Right, I had to be, but when I was a kid, like I could figure out so much stuff. I was teaching myself Photoshop. That's how I taught myself how to edit and do graphic design stuff. I was teaching myself Photoshop and Illustrator, and because I was teaching myself like trying to stream Twitch stuff. So I remember learning all that as a kid, but now it's gone. But now I'm trying to relearn it. It's like, bro, I don't know why it's so much. It's much harder than programming. Is trying to learn someone's software. Yeah, dude, that's cool. A lot of people seem to have that kind of path where they teach themselves to hack as kids because it's kind of like a cool subject, right?
Aurora says Wolfie might know. Hinami Spy says yeah, kids are off at learning.
Yeah, Wolfie might know. I've never used R, no. Yeah, we'll have to maybe ask Wolfie. So this is currently our...
Hinami Spy says don't use R, Python is much better.
All right. So this is... we got to keep moving, guys. You guys are chatting today. I like it. Let's keep it going. Oh, hey, Roar, sir. Hey, good dude. Appreciate you coming in. I got to review your pull request on the Small Business Manager. If you guys aren't familiar, we have the Small Business Manager. Oh, one sec. We have the Small Business Manager community. Right, I wrote the Small Business Manager. It's on my portfolio website, so you guys can check that out as well if you want kind of a description right here. And then I also have a video in my project section and on my channel regarding the Small Business Manager. So I wrote that project for a business, my colleague's business, and to manage their entire like business software platform, or I guess for their specific needs. And then I oh my gosh. Yeah, so then with their permission we open it up to the community, to you guys. So if you guys would like to contribute to it, you guys feel free. You guys can. I do have some pull requests to review here of the manager.
It's more focused towards statistics.
More focused towards stats. Gotcha. It's been a while since I took a stats class. I'm gonna be frank with you guys. Okay. So this is our current AbsorbSim page. So it looks pretty good so far. Right off the bat, one thing I don't like is this is way too big. We need to taper this down. Yeah. So we need to taper this down. We might want to set a horizontal gap here between these a little bit wider. So that this isn't as close together, especially when we come in here, right? There's no gapping at all. It's just wrapping right on the image, right? But when I go like that, when I snap, that looks pretty good, right? For the mobile view, I got SpectroSim up front, home about. I might need to put maybe a little line break right here to kind of, or maybe have this kind of have a little bit of a card on it, but have it be kind of more transparent so it pops out. And then I do want to add in a title here for AbsorbSim, kind of similar to SpectroSim, but more along the lines of AbsorbSim. And then I do want to create kind of like a logo, like a cute little logo I think would be fun I already have an idea of kind of like a sketch. Let me pull up my whiteboard. I do want to create like an individual logo for AbsorbSim. So we have these various simulators on within this SpectroSim. So I'm going to write hopefully a couple more spectroscopy simulators with Python and whatnot, and then incorporate these into the project as various simulators under this tab, right? And
assess. How do you collect your data for Spectro?
Yeah, so that is another question. Good question. Thanks for asking that. So really quickly, I'll answer that in 1 second. So my cute little logo idea was just kind of like a beaker, right? To kind of resemble like a solution, right? We could have it be like a flask, right? Or something like this. I'm not even sure. Maybe it's more of like a... right, something like that. And then we have like just like a it's just like we can maybe give it some like particle whatever effect, just kind of like some art, like some little emoji art, and then kind of like a just a wave that like will pass through with an arrow that like hits this and then maybe comes out the other side. You know, I think would be kind of cool. Like just a little like logo like that. I'll have to work on that offline. To go right like on top, like for AbsorbSim and
assess with a spectrometer.
Oh, for data, how do you collect it? Yeah, you would use like, you know, luminosity and or like yeah, probably a spectrometer. Yeah, exactly. To I believe that's what it's called. To just detect the like intensity or like luminosity of the wavelength at the ray of light at that point.
Is this simulated data?
But this is simulated data. Used through a scraping mechanism through PubChem. So we're using PubChem. We can go to our page here, access right here. So we're using PubChem. Like if we type in aspirin, we can see aspirin. If we go to aspirin's spectral information, right? Let me see.
Ray says hello, Mike and everyone.
Hey, dude, Ray Butler. What you been working on? You stop in a lot, my friend. I appreciate you how much for coming in. So here, right?
This is going to be neat. Gathering edge data and presenting it in a data stream.
Yeah, so see how it's like it's pretty hidden on this page. Like it's hard to kind of even find the data you're looking for, even on the page itself, right? So what I did was we wrote this web scraper.py file here, right? And so what this web scraper, all it does is I get a CID using the PubChem REST API. This code is on my GitHub as well. So if you like to follow along, you can actually read the code as I go here and see the updates. It's public. I believe it's public. Let me know if it's not. So you just get a CID using this REST API, this pug REST, of a compound string, right? And then we get the data querying the pug view, right? For that string or that CID, right? And the whole time we're passing in a dictionary and building an an information entry basically. So we give a name and we return a dictionary here with the name and with the compound ID. So we're starting to build kind of like through each function, we're adding some more and more data, building upon it, passing this object through, which was one of our viewers' recommendations, because we were currently passing in, I think, tuple, and then he said, and then he just said, use dictionaries. Like, oh, yeah, good idea. So then you get the data of it, and then we extract the alcohol absorption spectro. So in this case, actually, I don't even think I need to call this extract absorption spectro. I'm gonna say, right? So we extract the absorption spectro because it's not just bound to alcohol anymore. I made it more universal. Let me expand this out for you guys. So I have a pattern here using regular expression in Python, which is just looks for max absorption. And then let's go back to our PubChem here. Ooh. Right, looking for max absorption, some parenthesis, a literal parenthesis, a literal set of parentheses, and then this means a group, this inner set of parentheses, that's why it's a slightly different color. I have a backslash parenthesis meaning literal. This is a group I'm extracting here. I have some notes. Group 1 is the solvent, like alcohol. So here you're going to get the solvent of ether, right? I can never know which one to pronounce. Then you have a literal parenthesis, a colon, some amount of, is it decimals? I forgot what D is. Yeah, some amount of digits, right? Some amount of words, the length of 2 for this nanometer. And then we look for the log E, basically, right? And what's inside of there. And so what you'll see here is if I'll run this for you, I'll type in aspirin here on this. So I have this set of functions here just to actually run it. So this is what will be, this is what will actually kind of be the order of what things are happening, but I'm just using print here. And then so you can see here, we're looking for this information. Ether 275 log 3.11, right? So I run this. Ooh, what am I? There we go. Name aspirin, ether 275, and then this is the epsilon. I converted this epsilon, right? So 3.11. I converted that epsilon here by using a base of 10 to the power, right? Log E equals 3.11. I believe that's the correct way to convert it. Let me know if I'm doing that correctly or not. But yeah, so that's how I'm getting that information. And so then we're able to do the actual plottage of these things, right? And currently I'm only plotting just this one compound here, but we need to continue on and link up a database for saving these compounds on queries, but we need to actually get our query going and working for this front end. So there's a lot to do here. It's just, man, being the full stack guy here, solo is pretty quite the task. It's not for the faint of heart. Let me tell you, there's a lot you have to do, and it's crazy. Okay. What are you guys working on out there? That was my spiel. Let me know what you're working on. Okay, so let's first fix this this like huge issue here, right? This big graph issue. So let's go to our AbsorbSim page. Okay. So on our AbsorbSim page here, we want to, our goal here, we want to first give some spacing here between the left and right. So I have my compound search section, which is this guy here. I have the compound search plot generation, which is this overarching thing here. I have a left section, which is this guy, and a right section here. So if I give a gap, just a gap in general of 4. If I give like a 40, so what if I go, let's just add a border so we can see what's going on here.
While the master says, are you winning, son?
I'm not winning, son. I'm tired of this, Grandpa. Let's do it back. Hey, Wolfie, we were needing to ask you earlier. We wanted to oh, rip, did my YouTube stream? No. How to get follower notifications to pop up on the screen from Twitch and stuff. I'm a boomer. I can't figure it out anymore. Okay, so we're trying to. Why isn't this giving a border? Okay, if I give you a border. Okay, nothing's working anymore. What's going on here? Am I trolling? Okay, that's why. Why? Because I exited out of my terminal?
Tim says, good evening, Mike. Did you get a haircut?
No, dude, I just tucked it behind the ears today. I figured I would look somewhat presentable for you guys. Sort of soon. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. So, okay, we're back to this. So if we give we have that border there so we can see what we're looking at. We're trying to give a gap of like 5 here. What happens here? So it kicks it out because the gap, I can't have the gap there. Because these fill with the full. Okay, so because I have an overarching compound.
The master says there are many ways. Wish I could point you toward Woofs 3, but it's not live yet. Easiest for you might be to set it up under alerts in the creator dashboard. While the master says it will give you a browser source you can add to obs.
Oh, okay. That sounds easy. Okay, I'll have to check that out. Thank you, dude. Okay, so our first issue here is that we're trying to apply some spacing to these left and right, this left and right section, right? So imagine that there's a border here around left and right as well. But if I add a gap here, I force wrap this down. I'm applying padding to the page as is. Because our overarching container yeah, that's the gap in between these items, the individual items. Because if I put a border here, I'll get a around that, yeah. See, why is this padded so much? Like, why is there...
Tim says, did you make your own API for this site, Mike?
My own? What do you mean by my own? Like in terms of like I wrote like a script to access one. If that was what you mean, yeah. Someone. Okay, so why we gotta think here. Why do we have spacing for one in this overarching, but this isn't padded, right? And the bottom isn't padded, but there's padding on the X. But not when we come to scale in.
Tim says, yeah.
I'm not sure. Anybody have any ideas? Any ideas? Oh, it's just because it's... So then why do I, when I apply a gap? Does it force the wrap? But it does, but there's still area here that it can push out to. This is my... What is this spacing? This is that margin. But what is this spacing here? See, it's not, that's how much padding it should be having. Right, and then so this has flex row, flex wrap, gap, and border. So what if I apply a width? Let me remove this gap. What if we fill the container that we're supposed to be in? Okay, there we go. Okay, so now if I give a gap of, let's say, 4, now I have some spacing here. Perfect. And it wraps there. Oh, there we go. Now we're back to square one. Oh, shoot. So I'm going to say it takes up Let's say width auto. Let's say width
Jim
auto.
says congrats on 2,200 subs, by the way, Mike.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, huge thank you to you guys as well. Big ups to you guys for helping me out with that and get me pushed over that marker. Thank you guys so much for following along. Truly, every single day, it really helps as we keep growing here. Order. So it's over here, but there's nothing here. So the thing is, I think I need to set like a fixed width on this image, I think. So this is the image. Let's set a width of 50, 100, 200. Like if I apply a border here. Okay, good. But still. I think it's the words. So let's add a paragraph. Let's add a text wrap. Word break. Is it word break? We wrap. Let me look up so if I say text, let's try some stuff. Text pretty is also an option I have. That looks pretty good. I have text.
Lee says, could you comparatively review Harvard CS50 course vs Python crash course, please?
Hey, yeah, for sure. Text, right, text. I don't think that has any difference. What if I if I take it into this paragraph, I go. So if I this is that gap in between. Oh no. Oh, I was applying it to the wrong section. I'm such a goof. Such a goof. So we're looking for the lorem here. So if I say class name here, text wrap, now let's get rid of that. Let's put it here and say text wrap in the left section compound. That doesn't do anything. Pretty. Also doesn't do anything. Okay, so that is text. Okay, sorry, Lee. Could you possibly? Yeah. So, what's your level, Lee? That's the first question I would like to ask is, have you ever programmed before? And then I can for sure answer that after knowing that. Both are good for that case, but my answer kind of depends on that one or the other if you've never programmed before at all. Then okay, so
Eduardo says yes.
Okay, cool. Then I think you'd be fine taking Harvard's. Oh, Eduardo said yes. Wrong person. Talking for Mr. Lee, Eduardo. So what happens if I say text no wrap here then? Will it? Okay, so it is doing that. It's supposed to be on here. Okay, good. Okay, so then what if I on the?
He says, I'm a beginner app, but I finished the FCC 4 hours course on YouTube and am taking the 100 doc right now.
Let's give some padding. And then if I give...
Tim says Mike looking like prime John Stamos.
John Stamos.
Anand says, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey dude, how's it going? You think I look like prime... Do you look like John Stamos? You think I be looking like John Stamos? Okay, so the gap isn't working. So let's go. Let's go.
Anand says, I think we just found a new thumbnail. Anand says, reach a wider audience.
Okay.
Tim says, look up 1980 John Stamos.
So I'm gonna say width is gonna fit to the contents of what it's in. Oh, wait. Why is that still extending? This is what has the image in it. Why is that still extending? I don't see it. Let me take all this one. My border. I'm so confused. There I get a border. Why don't I get one here? So that's the gap between these two. I don't get it. Why don't I get a border on this guy? Now I do. Yellow 500 just doesn't show up. There's nothing there. But now it shows up. So if I put it, now it fits to it. Why is that one extending out?
Duardo says, Michael looks like Isaac Asimov of the 21st century.
Isaac Asimov? Bro, you're doing that to me? You're doing that to me, man? That's brutal. I mean, I'm sure Isaac is a great chap. Is it the beard or what? You're trolling. Okay, so we fit right section.
Tim says 1980 John Stamos bro.
Why isn't this border working? Color with me. Box flexes.
Duardo says, the brilliant mind.
So this box flexes. So then we need to put flex, justify, center. There we go.
Tim says Isaac might have had the worst beard of all time.
That's not terrible. The thing is we need a gap. Why can't I put a gap? Let's see. What if I say half here?
Lee says, I think my chat got buried lol, but I am just starting out with coding. I did complete the free code camp course on YouTube and am currently taking the 100 days of code on Udemy.
Oh, I'm so dumb. Then this one is the... This takes up half. Hey Lee. No, I saw your chat. I was waiting for you to respond. I did a complete free code camp course on YouTube and currently taking the... Okay, sweet. Yeah, dude, so you've gotten some programming experience then, so I think you have no problem taking the Harvard CS50P course. I took it without any programming experience, and it was a little bit challenging at first. And it might deter some of you guys if you aren't really used to going through some challenges and pushing yourself to learning new things. But the Python crash course, if you're looking for the smoothest transition and introductory to beginner level Python, in my opinion is the best book. So that if you start out with Python crash course and then start to work your way in to the CS50P, you'll be top notch. Set yourself up. Okay. So if I want to say half, I want to say width is, instead of half here, I want to say auto. So width auto, no. Let's see what options they have. Fit, full, large view
Lee
height.
says, sweet thank you Mike.
If I say max.
Tim says after we launch SpectroSim are we hitting up Indeed for employment?
I think so, Tim. I think SpectroSim is going to be the cream on the crop project for us. I'm going to try to finish the homepage, about page, add the generation and the custom generation, and then I think it'll be, and then we can maybe add one more simulator. Okay. So here I have it as half. Okay, I'm gonna I don't really like doing this, but I'm kind of stuck here. What can I say? I am having some trouble getting the left and right subsections to have some gap when in large view. Currently,
Tim says for the hackathon a simulator competition would be cinema. I'll build a horse race simulator.
they're border to border, and the width is 1/2. So there. Guess margin between two sections, tailwind gap. Use basis 1/2 with flex instead of width 1/2. Okay, so it says okay, so we have the overarching compound section here, which has flex wrap, justify between. If I remove this, okay, right, and then in markdown flex, no wrap. Okay. Then we say justify between width full. So then here we set the markdown to 48%. If I apply a border here, that wraps there, good. Then on the right section, we're going to apply a markdown width of 48%. Now we get a gap, because we have space between. Now if I apply an even bigger gap of 6, so the justify space between, that's what's pushing them apart, right? Yeah. So I apply a gap of like 10 here. It's not doing anything. Oh, sorry, it's gap. There we go. So let's lower this padding to like 4 rather. Wait. So we do need to justify. So if we justify sender here, and then we go items center as well, that condenses those all the way down to squish, because that has fit as is. So this is going to be width of full. Okay, so this is the, let's put the compound title and generate button. We need some tunes, my bad guys. A simulator competition. That would be cool. Should we give a couple of options that you can choose from of types of simulators? Like you could do like a horse race. I kind of wanted to build a slot machine simulator, like both visually and like graphically and like algorithmically, where you can go onto a website and just pull a slot, just pull a. I think that'd be fun. All right. So why, let's figure out why on this left subsection, flex row. This is for the generate title button. So then you have the paragraph. So I'm gonna put in here div. I'm going to take this paragraph, I'm going to put it here, and here I'm going to say this is going to be compound info, or data info, right? So the compound data info, the whole thing. Is it, okay, this is saying width is fit. So if I remove some of this text then, so it's still going out. So why is this?
Tim says you can make some broad categories like sports, science, casino allows for creativity.
That'd be a good idea. That's a good idea, Tim.
Says time for a roulette wheel simulator.
Drop that in the Discord, Tim, and see what people think. I like that idea too. Okay, so we want to understand why is this box here extended out all the way? Fit. Oh, let me see. Maybe it's because of this thing. So if I say border here, that's pushed all the way out, right? So if I say width fit here, and then I say border, now that's all the way in. So that's not doing it though. What's pushing all of this out? Let me look up the width on this paragraph. We'll say, okay, so if I say, oh, okay. So I'm fitting to the size of the text. I'm fitting So what in here is causing this to extend out? I don't want that to happen. Oh, I'm so dumb. Because it said here. If I said it to fit here. Now it's fit like that. So on my here, I need to go full. On my H1, here I go text. So that we want the text to wrap. That's fine. But I don't want my button to stretch. Because right now my button fills its container. So let's go to my generate absorb sim plot button here. Width is fit to container. So my width doesn't change really. Maybe ever so slightly. It's just when that wraps, this stretches. I don't want to say, I say height equals 2. So what happens if I set then the compound title and button section here? What if I set the width to max it can be here? As wide as its contents required, but no wider. So then we'll say here flex wrap. So rather than width max, we'll say width full. So it fits its container. And now that wraps, and then it goes like that. So if you have an iPad, it looks like this. So it doesn't look that bad. So then I'll give a so if I border.
Jim says, okay, Mike, now size it for my 2-inch by 1-inch iPod.
So why is this? This has a big cut. Yeah. I give a border to the button here. Why do I have a margin on it? Why is there? No, I think it's this gap. So we'll say justify between, then I'll say width is max. We'll say width is full, but we won't say justify I don't want to justify center. I want to keep it on the left. Guess we need to apply a gap X direction of 2. And then so why is there some padding X's? Let me give in markdown. That's fine. Okay, let's get rid of some of these borders. The thing is, I don't want this. Actually, let's go back. I don't want this text to be aligned center here. So we gotta remove this. So let me give a border to I think I already have one on here. Yeah, here. So if I give a padding in the right one, I'm gonna say margin right of 1. Now if those come, now it snaps a little bit fat sooner. Okay, we can remove the border then. So that goes away. Okay, and then I can remove the border on here. The width of this is going to be full, so I add a border back. It's going to go the entire length. So then if I add a bunch of text here, right, it goes down. Okay. The thing is I'm going to give it my button here. I'm going to say, why does my button have a little bit of margin on the top? Try removing the fixed height. Oh, this. There we go. Oh, nice. Oh, nice.
Holleran says saw self-taught, learning, and daily uploads. It was so motivational, brought tears to my eyes.
Hey, Polyron! Thanks, dude. I appreciate you for jumping in here and coming in and saying hello. What you been working on? Yeah, my name's Michael. I've been teaching myself how to program for about 11, 12 months now, almost a year. I have a degree in human bio, minor in chemistry, and we're building the SpectroSim site to visualize our absorption spectroscopy simulations. I use some of my chemistry knowledge as, and then now we're just kind of designing our site here. It looks really cool so far, using React and Tailwind. We are using Tailwind for the first time. We're learning it live here, and it's been a pretty good time. It's looking good so far. Okay, so let's go back and now let's take out these borders now that we have everything figured out. Okay. What's that? It's the text. There is no text in there. So I kind of like that line break though. It looks pretty clean. So let's go, what if we add a horizontal rule right there below this information? So this is the generate title button, plot button. So now what if I come in here and add in a horizontal rule like so? Clean. Okay, now let's go get rid of the borders down below here. Right, and then where's some more? Here's another one. All right, that looks nice. Now let's go up here. Take out this guy. And then here. Woo! That looks clean! So if we put in some dummy text here. So now let's go ahead and do this here. Okay. So compound data info is right here. Right? I'm going to add So we're gonna add in a.
Aaron says would love to stick around, but time for bed for me. Hope to catch ya another time.
See ya, dude. Thanks so much for stopping by, man. Have a great one. Really appreciate you coming in. You're awesome, man. So if I add in a so the thing is I have to add it like here. And I have to say description. No, I don't have to add it there. I'm being dumb. Thanks so much for coming in, dude. I'll see you later. Have a good one. See you tomorrow. I'll be here. So we have H2 here. So this guy, we're going to give a margin top 2. Okay, we're going to text bold. So I'm going to say compound description. Going to say description, right? Description, and then is this paragraph, right? So I'm going to wrap this in a div. I'm going to open this up, take it, put it right there. Okay. I'm going to say this is going to be compound description. Okay. Okay, we're going to give a I think I'm going to do a table. I'm going to do table head. If I say hello here, what happens? Okay, so we have a table. We're gonna open up a div here though, like we did above. Let's see this table here. Put that in like so. Okay. Okay, so SAT head. What was I say? Just compound spectral data, right? Let me go up here. Let me give it a class name here. Test compound spectral data. UV viz. Let's say spectral. Okay. Okay. So then we have a table of heads like so. So in our table, you have a table head, or no, table row section with all the headings, right? So we'll have all of our headings here. I'll go CID number. This will be, I'm gonna copy this lambda max like so. And then I'm also going to copy epsilon max. Ooh. So if I apply a class here of padding the X direction of like 4, and then padding in the Y direction of like 3, but then it says to give a scope equal to column. Why does this table head have so much? Okay, let's just commit here what we have. Okay, right? So then we're gonna have, let's just put in table row. Then we're gonna have table data. Right. We'll give a class name here for table data. We'll give a padding X. So let's give a test. And then padding in the Y direction of 1. Four looks really bad here.
Tim says good night, Mike. Enjoy the graveyard shift.
See ya, dude. Thanks so much for coming in. Have a great night, dude. I really appreciate you joining me here. Later, broskies. I don't get it. Why is this one all funky? What? Why does this one look terrible?
Alfonso says, hi Michael, I was wondering how did you host your React website on GitHub? Is there a tutorial you watched or some documentation to help me out? Thanks.
Hey Mike, I was wondering how did you host your React website on GitHub? Yeah, which one? My portfolio website? I hosted this on Vercel. This is hosted on Vercel. My Chroma plot is hosted on render.com, but render's kind of bad. So if I say body, there's a table body they then insert. Oh, hold on. So you have a table. You have a table head. Which you then put these guys into. There we go. Okay. Then you have a G body that we can stick this into. There we go. Okay, so now if we get out of this, what if I say a min width? Okay, let's see here. So I need to wrap like right there. Like it shouldn't be. So I need to set a minimum width.
John says, I just realized Tailwind means like a boost from behind.
Your tail's windy. So if I set a minimum width to this photo.
John says, LOL, it all makes sense.
It's on the right section on the image. If I set a min width of 100. So you don't wrap until there.
John says that logo looks clean.
Yeah, right? Doesn't look good? I like it. I had it italicized, but y'all were hating on it. Okay, so here. This is the compound description. Oh shoot. That goes there. Right now we have compound data info with the margin top. Now if I remove the border on here, this is what we get here. I'm going to remove the padding X. But I'll keep the padding Y. No padding Y actually. Just don't need any class then. Okay, so the table div itself, so this is going to be the compound table data. So this guy we're going to give right on top of 4. So why is this, have some spacing here. Let's see if we can no, we need to no. Why is this table site nested inward? Instead say padding right 4. Say margin right 4. Move here. we're going to take this H2 here. It'll be called spectral data. Put a margin top here of 4. Let's keep it consistent with flex column gap 1. Compound data table. Table head. Table row. Let's see what I need to improve on this one. There you go. Compound table data. Okay, so we have our div. We're going to remove this. I have a div for the table here. Put in the div for the table. Let's just see what this looks like. What does collapse do? Then we say the table. Oh, hold on. So this gets applied to the table rather. The div gets a class name. Overflow X auto rounded. Large. Table head is with a class name equal to for the text. Table row. Nothing happens to table row. we'll give a equal to text for border. Body. Give a border. Table data. So now if I hover over a specific row, I'm going to be a little bit darker, like 600. There you go. There we go. So if you hover on the row, the whole row changes to a lighter color, and then your specific one is a little bit darker. Let's make this 400. Okay, then also we'll apply.
Prism says, hey there.
Hey, how's it going?
Swaraj says, hey, hi Michael, good morning. How you doing, bro?
What's up, bruh? How's it going, man? Appreciate you for coming in. Welcome, welcome. Put it back to normal. So what is our original text color? Slate 200. So we'll put the text color back to slate.
Swaraj says, bro, which is your fab subject?
That was good. Just want to make it a little less light on the.
Brunette33 says, hey.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? Favorite subject? Probably computer science and programming right now. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Okay, we want to pad on the X direction for the rows. So here. No, not here. On here. That gives us some padding. It's not so lined up.
Brunette33 says, first time, what are you doing right now? Swaraj says, Brew, I just completed Java but still bit of confusing doing the programs.
Yeah, it's definitely, I only know Python and from front end stuff here. So hold on, let's say that we need padding X of 4 here. Or let's just go like this. Let's just copy. Okay, so if we hover on this row. Okay, so if you hover on the row, all other values turn off or like kind of go dark, and then this one's kind of highlighted here. Which kind of looks cool. Or should I have it so it's dark and then it just highlights? Let's maybe do that. Okay, so let's go. So if I hover on the row, I want the entire row to remain the same color. So we're gonna remove that. Right. But I just want the text to go different. Okay, to highlight. Perfect. So if I hover on this one, I want it to go highlight. So 500. And white. There we go. So now I'll take these ones out. Take this one. Copy it down 4 times. Now I have this. So if you select on a row, all other rows go slightly dark, or all other values in that row go slightly dark with their text as well. Which looks good. So then though, if I want to apply a border, let's go border slate 600. And then we also need to apply a border. That didn't work. Well, our body is slate 600.
Says hi.
So let's make this slate 600. Oh no. Let's make this 800. Too dark. 700. And then we'll make these borders also be 700. So now I can copy this table data 4 times. There we go. Woo! That looks really good. Oh yeah! So now I'm gonna take my current drop shadow I have on my button, right? I have a drop shadow on here. Yep. Okay, shadow. I'm gonna apply that to the table. Or do I apply it to? Yeah, just, or do I apply it to the div containing the table? There we go. I got rid of it. If I apply it to the table directly, nothing happens. But I apply it to the div then. Now I get the shadow. It's kind of hard to see. But it's there. Okay, so that's color. And this is spread. So if I increase this up to 10, 6, 6, we get a little bit more spread on there. So do 5, 5. I'm going to take this shadow. I like this. I'm going to apply it here. I'm going to apply it to here. And then apply it to here. I might turn it to 0.7. 0.7. 0.7. 0.7. .7. Okay, good. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and add spectral data and data table. Okay. So we want to add a little bit of margin, right? So this
Anand says I'm back.
So this description lorem. So the lorem. Okay, so then right here. Oh, that looks freaking awesome. That looks really good. I just need to set a minimum width somehow to like right there, so it snaps right there. It doesn't go below that, right? Be larger and snap and really you're on wider screen. Medium, large. Okay, so then maybe we should have rather than using MD, we want to break sooner, right? So our compound search section, no, compound plot generation here, flex wrap. On medium, flex no wrap. If I change this, if I come in here and look up everywhere I see MD and I change this to large, there we go. Now I'm getting a faster snap. Perfect. Oh, beautiful. Oh, that looks so good. That looks really freaking good. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. So if I go border here. Okay. That looks really good. That looks awesome. Okay, so right now we got some. So compound plot generation here. Gap of 10. There we go. So then I want this to be a little bit closer up. Or maybe a little bit more spacing here then. Well, I'm gonna have a logo right here. So this gap here. Oh, that looks really good. Oh, this is super awesome. I'm really happy with this so far. Just struggling through little by little, you guys. What you guys working on if you guys are here alongside me? All right, let's add this up. Style changes. Ah, this looks awesome. This looks really good. So I just need to get like a.
Aurora says just some personal dev tools.
Nice, dude. How do you like the page so far, Aurora? I think it looks shrewd. I might add in a little bit more margin. Right. I might add in a little bit more margin to our layout. Padding 12.
Aurora says I see you've made a lot of progress. Looking good.
Yeah, it looks good. Yes, 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 sir, for sure. Okay, let's go inspect.
Ray says the page is looking good. Hinami Spy says, hey bro, what lead code patterns have you learned so far? I'm on my LC journey as well.
Hey dude, how's it going?
Hinami Spy says, lead code?
So I'm giving some padding. Let's quickly look at the... I haven't solved any today yet, but I might do some a little bit later. Lead code patterns, dude, honestly, haven't really like put a name to the patterns. I guess like sliding window, like prefix sum, binary search, obviously, tree traversal stuff, linked list stuff. I mainly kind of memorized, I guess maybe like data structure stuff is what I kind of memorized. Like a lot of my problem solving with leak code kind of comes on what kind of data structures can I use, and then what kind of math trick or what kind of,
Hinami Spy says, how long have you been doing them for?
Let's check on my, let's check here. I started doing leak code, I think around the beginning of the year. Or when I started reading the DSA book, so around like November 2024 was when I started reading DSA and Python live on stream. So this is my leak code. I've solved 67 problems. Couple of mediums throughout there, mostly easies though. Okay.
Hinami Spy says, press on the profile icon to see your history activity. Hydroelectric termination says, cheap viewers on streamboot.com.
No.
The space. OTR 32.
Get that guy out of. Don't click that crap.
Hinami Spy says, top right.
My history.
Hinami Spy says, next to premium.
January 13th was the first problem I ever solved, so
Hinami
the new
Spy
year.
Says, y'all get a daily tracker. Hinami Spy says, like on Newer Portfolio website. Hinami Spy says, press on your name.
Oh, here you go. Yeah, just January. I solved a couple in January. Then I've been solving more and more here throughout the months. But I've been building a lot of projects here.
Hinami
1 million.
Spy says, respect bro, that's more than me and MCS lol.
Nice, dude. Appreciate you for coming in here. So let's remove that padding here. There's too much padding going on when we're in. So on the. So let me go here and add a border. Here. Here. So we have a padding of 10 here. We'll make this large view, padding of 10. There we go. Perfect. So I'm glad we kept everything organized in their container, so now it's really easy to kind of organize things. That looks so good! That looks so freaking good! I'm pretty happy about that. I am pretty happy about this. So let's give like a really quickly, let's give a really big test compound name. Okay. Ooh. Will it wrap? Yes, it does wrap. Good. Yes, good. Good, 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 good. Woohoo! Dude, this looks so good. I'm so happy with this. I think I want a little bit more spacing on the bottom of the search status though. So it's more like even, right? That's a little bit of visual tension right there. I'm gonna put a logo here and another, and like AbsorbSim.
Looks like you've got all the spacing and auto size working.
Yeah, so now it's just like fine tuning things, right? So if we go to our search status here, this guy. If I say margin bottom, so then it's a little bit uneven. So we go 3 here, 4. See, that's a little bit more even. Now I'm gonna double it here. 8. No, 4. Add just some more spacing here. Let's go like 6. 8. There we go. I like that. But if we go wider, dude, that looks so sick. I'm so happy with that. I'm very happy with this. Very, very happy indeed. Woo!
Heidegger says, "What are doing, bro?"
Building my SpectroSim site here.
Heidegger says, "Came late."
No worries, dude. I appreciate you being here. We got a lot done so far, just in regards to styling and whatnot. I appreciate you guys being here with me and hanging out. Let me know what you guys are working on so far. If you guys have any recommendations for what I should add or change, let me know. I'm all ears. This is what I have so far, though. So we have SpectroSim up in the top left. I have no home page yet. Got a lot to work on, boys. Gotta do a home page. But, right, so we got a home page, an about page, and then we have a simulators. This is a drop-down menu on hover. We'll go to AbsorbSim. And now this takes us to AbsorbSim. I need to add in a title here, for like AbsorbSim, and then I'm gonna make a custom logo for this kind of subcategory like AbsorbSim, and then we have a compound search, compound name section, a search button that has some hover effect too, which is nice. We have a spectral data source from PubChem, this also, and this links us to PubChem. We have a search status, which this will hopefully change status upon successful or failed search results. We have then a compound section here, which is when you get a successful search, it'll generate and change the name here. And then it has all the information pulled, and then you can generate the sim by pressing this button to actually run and refresh this plot for this simulation. This is just a dummy one here.
Says you could make the simulator options a different color in the drop down maybe.
Here? Yeah, we can make them a different color, maybe make them cool. Right, so I just have some hover effects on them right now. But yeah, it looks really cool! Woo! I like it a lot so far. I think it looks really clean. It's definitely my best site I've built so far. I mean, this is my portfolio website. This one looks pretty good. This one looks pretty good. Right? Looks pretty good too. But my chroma plot, it's gonna take forever to load. See, it's a big step up from this one, boys.
Planning to go to college for software engineer. Did you go to school for this?
I have a degree in human biology and a minor in chemistry. I work as a chemist. I appreciate you for coming in, dude. Feel free to follow along and join my Discord, completely for free. I never charge you guys for nothing like that. It gives you guys a roadmap of my entire learning journey from books I read like Fluent Python, Python Crash Course, Data Structures and Algorithms in Python, Pro Git, and then obviously my personal notes, everything, course breakdowns from CS50, everything is in there. So yeah, feel free to check those out. Woo! This looks so good! Oh yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and I'm gonna take a screenshot here of like this so I can show the Discord. Oh, whoops. No. I'm very happy with this. Very, very happy with this. So I think what might be cool is I might like add like a section break here, and then add like a little like textured background. I think would be cool, or something just to have it like.
What book, bro?
What book? What do you mean, what book? Everything I have is in my Discord. Link down below, so you can check it out here.
Heidegger says, okay.
The text-to-speech on your name is giving me the... it's a little close to something. Making moves. Making moves, bros. Join the Discord, you guys. We've got a lot of great resources in here. Everything, including an upcoming community project, our math, calculus journey so far. Right, our calculus journey so far. History of old simulations? No, not done yet. No, we're just doing we're in web dev mode. I haven't honestly I haven't coded Python in like besides Leet code in like a week, so I need to code some Python and get back into. I've been having a lot of fun doing the web dev stuff, doing React and Tailwind. Actually, it's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying myself here, but we need to get back into Python. And so next stream, I think, is what we're going to start linking stuff up. So my goal for next stream tomorrow, you guys, so be back tomorrow. We're going to link up this search, right, with a fast API GET request or whatever. For running this actual web scrape. So we'll import these functions into our main, and then we will we'll import these functions into our main program, and then we'll upon the request receipt and then the receival of this input, we'll convert that into a string here, and then we'll just run these functions, and then we'll return back the data dict here given back, and then we'll populate this we'll populate this table here with the information, right? So that'll be our goal for next time, is linking up our front end here, getting the search to work, getting the search status to update, and then getting these to populate. And then probably for the day after that is we'll link up actually the generate button with generating the plot and replacing. And so then what we'll have to do is we'll have to set up the unique IDs, right, for each plot generation, so that users aren't downloading each other's plots. They can have unique IDs. And then we need to set up the database, the database for saving previous searches, right? So, and potentially also previous plot generations. So what we could do is we could, what we'll do is if once we receive, right, I'll run this program here. Once we receive the information that we're needing regarding the request from the API, we'll save it into the database, and then if a plot is generated off that, we will also save that plot's unique hash code in with that information as well, right? So we will also save the plot hash in here as well, so that we can we don't have to regenerate the plot for that specific query. We can just have all the query information saved, and then have basically a pointer or reference to the ID of the plot in our memory of our server. So we'll be saving plots that are generated by the users, and we'll be saving queries for successful searches generated by the users. If a plot is generated using this generate absorb sim button, right? Because it's not generated by default. We're not gonna force the server. Yeah. So we're trying to improve our chroma plot, exactly. So we're going to use Vercel this time around, so maybe it'll help out somewhat. But our chroma plot has a big delay to it, because A, we're on the free tier of the server, and then B, we're generating plots on using Python, using its limited processing speed of the server. So that's why it's takes a little bit longer. And then we're obviously serving them back over the internet. So my goal here is our first goal is to link the front end to back end and get the populations uploaded, right? Our second goal is on successful searches to save that dictionary object into memory on the server. And then our third goal is to on successful searches and then on prompts to actually generate plots, we are going to then save that plot information within the system, so that we can quickly just pull that plot and send it back. And these plots are going to be images, not GIFs, so it'll be a little bit faster too that way. And so we can just send the plot back right away if it was previously generated. So that's my goal. What do you guys think about that? Rip me a new one if you guys don't like it. Tell me how you guys feel about it. I appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with me. But I think I'm going to wrap it up here for today. I know I didn't get to a Leet code problem today. I'm sorry, you guys. I'll try my best to get to one tomorrow. But as you guys can see, we just have a lot of work to do on this project. So little by little, day by day, my goal is hopefully by the end of June, I can finish this project. I don't think it'll take us that long. Honestly, the hardest part is the...
says, would this get saved on Vercel? Didn't render delete the old context or something? Anand says him back for the third time.
Hey Anand, how's it going? Welcome back, dude. Appreciate you coming in again. Would this get saved on Vercel? Yeah, so render.com, to save and preserve space, it actually does delete the once you like refresh, I don't know, the site or whatever, or leave and come back, it basically wipes and gives you a fresh repo. So technically there is no like duplicate chart, serving going on, because the repo is getting just slated clean to what it is. But I'm not sure if Vercel allows. Does Vercel allow for onboard server storage?
Heidegger says, sound good bro, what time you gonna be tomorrow?
I stream every day after work. I work as a chemist. I work as a chemist, so I stream every day around 7 p.m. after my job. Persistent disk storage on the server, writing to a local file system expecting it to persist across requests or deployments. Stateful backend file storage, or saving files permanently. Does not. Any file written during a serverless function execution is ephemeral. It gets deleted after the function runs or times out. To persist files or data, use storage type recommendations file, AWS S3, Google Cloud Storage, Supa-based storage, etc. Database storage with PostgreSQL, key value storage with Redis, Upstash or Vercel key value. So we'll say,
Anand says, I recently got $100 free credits from Azure and have been learning DevOps since then.
oh, nice, dude.
Anand
For
says
my
it's a great exercise. Taught me a lot.
So let's go over here and let's prompt it here. Let's say, for my SpectroSim, I am wanting to save successful compound to disk, so I don't have to request the API again and again for the same compound. I also want to save generated plots compound. Okay, so the API data is being formatted in a dict. I also want to, if the user selects to do so, use previously generated plots that are saved to disk, and their UUID is saved into the compound dict object post successful search and plot generation. This way I don't dupe work, right? That's a great optimization. Caching API responses and reusing generated plots, any can save time, bandwidth, compute. Since Vercel doesn't support persistent server-side storage, here's how you can implement this architecture in a Vercel-friendly way. Recommended architecture for caching in SpectroSim. Use a database for caching API results. Since you can't write files to disk permanently on Vercel, you should store compound queries results in a database. Recommended options: SQLite for local dev only, PostgreSQL for hosted using Neon, or MongoDB using Atlas. You can then check the DB first before making the API call, skip plot generation if a UUID plot exists and is valid. right? Yeah. Use blob storage
Says,
above.
although Azure does give free credits to students.
Plots should be generated and uploaded to a blob storage bucket, then referenced in your database. Options for cell blob if you're already using for cell. On a successful API query, generate the plot. Upload the plot to blob storage. Save the blob URL or UID in the database. Why use blob storage in addition to a database? Think of a database as a filing cabinet of metadata, fast, searchable info like text, numbers, and references. Think of blob storage as a warehouse where you store big files that don't fit neatly in your filing cabinet. So a blob storage. On a successful search, you get compound data and you store in the database. You generate a GIF, you save that to blob storage. Save the blob URL or file name to the compound's DB record. DBs aren't optimized for binary blobs, especially large ones like images/GIFs. Querying and transferring large data slows your database down. Blob storage is often CDN backed, faster and cheaper for users to download images. Okay, so
Michael Deming never used blob storage unless the data is being modified. Often bad design choice since blob updates are expensive.
Interesting. Let's see. Let's copy your comment in here. So I was told that advice is overgeneralized and a bit misleading. Here's a breakdown to help you judge what blob is a good design. When blob storage is a good design, blob binary object, a blob, a binary large object, ideal large static files, infrequently modified assets once generated. So once it's generated, yeah, it's not going to be modified anymore. So I think it'll fit. It'll be a perfect match. If you're doing frequent partial updates to the file. Yeah, so I'm not updating the file. So I store the database will be, but these images can be blob. Okay. All right, we got a plan for tomorrow then. So tomorrow, you guys join me back tomorrow around 7 p.m. PST as I try to link my front-end searches with my back-end queries using my API and regular expression to generate and actually get out aspirin, CCID, solvent, lambda max, and epsilon used to generate these plots here. I really appreciate you guys.
Expensive performance-wise or cost? Anand says not being updated often. Anand says my bad.
No worries, I get what you're saying, Anand. You're just kind of mentioning like if I was updating things over and over again, but these images will be pretty static. So we just need to pull them once they're generated, because once they're generated, they're not going to change ever again unless we update our function to include more, generation data or whatnot. But once it's generated, it is what it is. Or our plot, or if we want to have so what we could actually end up doing, right, is we could write some more regular expressions to get more spectral data if the compound has it, right? There's some of these compounds, like aspirin, that has some spectral data, additional spectral record, right?
Anand says, or is their performance for reads and writes expensive as you have overheads for conversion?
Right? So here it has another UV max, right? This was another test that was done in this solvent of H2SO4, right? Where it had a wavelength of 229, and it had an epsilon of 484, right? And then in this solvent, it had 277 with this. So we could extract out even more information from this, and we can populate those if we wanted to as more rows within our table here. And then what we could happen, guys, is what we could do is we could have buttons on the actual rows themselves, right? We could have rows, a button associated with that specific row, and if you press that button for that specific UV, that spectral data row, it'll generate that specific plot, that specific instance. So right now we're only getting just this one, right? But we have two more. We have a couple more here in H2SO4 and C3CL3, CHCl3, right? So we could potentially, for aspirin, have two more lines, two more rows of data here to generate plots off of. So we do need to maybe go down that avenue as we continue on. But I think for now, let's get a working 1.0 version where we're able to do a successful or failed search for aspirin or whatnot, populate the necessary information here that we're gathering, and then go ahead and generate the plot here. So that's what we'll tackle tomorrow. All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here and joining me. Let's go ahead and get add here. Layout changes. All right, you guys, thanks so much for being here and hanging out with me tonight. Please leave a like if you haven't yet so far. It really helps the channel keep getting pushed up. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good evening, guys. Bye.